segueing from the cultures to what the leaders need. What do the leaders need to be able to really excel? What do leaders need in the future? Maybe 15 years, maybe 5 years, maybe 15 months. What are some of the things that you think will really help leaders develop?
I think the perceptible shift that may inform where leadership goes in the next decade or so really has to do with facility, with teams, either virtual teams, cross-cultural teams, matrix organizations. I mean, the skill sets that we look at for in our own organization for individual lawyers has changed dramatically. We have some very, very important key partners, but the most successful people in our firm now are the ones that can develop and work with teams. So one thread through our panel presentation and also through the questions is what do leaders do, or what do leaders need to do to become successful? And obviously you wouldn't be here if you didn't already have some facility with this, but that is really team development. Teams are a leveraging aspect of organizations. In my old life, they're a combat multiplier. Larry and I were talking about yesterday, we got news about the other rescue mission by SEAL Team 6. That's a team, highly trained, very specific, and whoever is leading that team would probably say, and they have said before, is the team did it. I didn't do it, the team did. And so I think that's the flavor that is going to inform leadership development, which is, can you work collaboratively with other people? And the idea of a single person doing everything is pretty much outmoded because of the complexity of the context in which we operate now. And certainly in our profession, which was very solitary for many, many years, very successful, but very solitary, has now shifted to that same dynamic.
The term that psychologists use to describe what Bill is just talking about is citizenship behavior. And that is that you are the kind of person who does more than your job description. And you don't wait to be told what to do. I remember being in the men's room in Stockholm, Sweden, and that people washing their hands would immediately wipe up the wet spots before they would leave. And I've thought about how rare that is in the United States that would happen. But it was routine in Sweden. That's an example of citizenship behavior. You don't think about what's good for you, you're thinking about what's good for other people. The problem, again, with job interviews is everybody will tell you what you want to hear. And everybody's been trained to tell you what you want to hear. So I'm not sure that a job interview in and of itself is going to be a predictive on citizenship behavior. But you do want to check references and ask specific questions about, give me an example of somebody going above and beyond their job description for the good of the team. Give me an example of how that person has done that. Does the story immediately come to mind, or do they hesitate? The other thing is that there are certain tests on the market that would tap into citizenship behavior and other things as well. You can go to a psychologist, or you can check on the web with Burroughs Mental Measurements, B-U-R-O-S. You can just do a Google search, Burroughs Mental Measurements. It's sort of like the cheat sheet psychologists used for tests of validity and reliability on things. And then once you get to Burroughs, you type in the word citizenship, and you can see the various tests that are used to get at that issue. Again, for team development, it's best to screen in people who are predisposed to being high citizens than trying to hope that they can be learned on the job.
What I see is the best teams are very diverse. So when you're looking for leaders, you want people who can get along and manage with a wide range. Because if you have a team that they're all homogenous, it doesn't work as well as a team with a lot of diversity. So when you look for leaders, that's a characteristic of culture.
I was amazed in my first year how the respect that I got not only from the customers but from my employees for traveling with them, working with them, listening to their issues. And it's not all about work, because you know what? If you understand them and they're able to talk to you about issues that they see or situations that they're dealing with. And again, as a CEO, you're not the problem solver of everything, but to really hear it from their voice directly and to let them feel heard is the biggest thing that you can do in a company to create strong teams, to create loyalty. I mean, I had virtually no turnover in 6 years, triple-digit growth. And it was because people liked being on the team. And they knew that people believed in them and were there for them. So again, teams is going to be critical, and it's important that you show yourself not only as a leader, but somebody that wants to understand what issues are going on with their team and how can you solve them together.